Welcome to the deck list portion of today's video, but before I do everything, talk about this deck list and all that stuff, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Huge shout out to King Glacier for this deck list. It was actually pretty funny how I was able to find this deck list and then kind of the story following up to it. So basically, when I was trying to get this deck or get a version of Neos to work for me, because I've been having really bad luck with this EX structure deck. So I went into the Ring PP ladder, I've been battling people and testing out builds and stuff like that, and I went against this guy called King Glacier, and he had this really sick Elemental HERO Neos Swordsman build, and basically after he absolutely defeated me, I decided to snipe this deck list, yeet this deck list, and use it as my own. Now what was really cool is that after I fought this dude and took his deck list, he actually commented on my latest video, and I'll put this screenshot on your guys' screen right now, and I actually went against this guy, and he thought it was really cool that one, I'm going to be shouting him out for today's video and everything like that. So that's how I was able to figure out this deck list. I did not make this. I'm just giving credit where credit is due. Huge shout out to King Glacier for actually building this deck list, and watch out if you see him in the ladder because this deck is really sick. Anyways though, let's go do a breakdown on this deck because you're gonna need a lot of cards. Like, this build is super duper expensive. Like, this is probably the best build I have so far, that if you're a competitive player in Yu-Gi-Oh and you want to challenge, I think this is a deck that can handle the meta. But since it's not like a top tier deck, 6 samurais and stuff like that will still hammer you down. But if you get the right combos going, you could actually handle 6 samurai yourself. So this is like a good challenge deck for any players that just doesn't want to use the standard meta stuff. And let's go do a breakdown. So we have Silent Swordsman level 7. You get this card from the Crusader Battlegrounds or the Spellbound Silent Structure deck. Next up, you're going to want to have 3 copies of Silent Swordsman. Silent Swordsman is kind of the main thing for this boy. Sadly, though, if you're a free-to-play player, it's going to be really hard for you because you're going to need to get 3 copies of Silent Swordsman, and getting 3 copies of the Structure Deck EX is also going to be helpful. So this deck is sadly not for free-to-play people whatsoever, so I'm sorry about that. But still, 3 copies of Silent Swordsman, you can get it from the Swordsbound Silent Structure Deck. Next up, we have 3 copies of Neospace Connector. This card has some crazy good combos with this card, as you guys saw from the dual replays, which is really nice. We have 3 copies of our Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, and what's really nice about both Neospatian Aqua Dolphin and Neospace Connector is that they're both warrior monsters that you can sacrifice go into Silent Swordsman, which is pretty cool. Next up, we're running 2 copies of your boy Elemental HERO Neos, and this is from Jaden. You just gotta, go against Jaden, you'll be able to get a couple copies of this card. Next up, we're running 1 copy of Dark World Dealings. If you have a card like Into the Void, you can replace that instead of Dark World Dealings. But Dark World Dealings is actually a little bit spicy for some combos. I forget if I showcased this at all in the dual replays. With Dark World Dealings, you can discard your Silent Swordsman Slash, draw into a different card, and then use Silent Swordsman Slash by banishing it to the banish zone, and then you can search out for a Silent Swordsman. So Dark World Dealing has came clutch in a couple duels that I've been. Next up, we have 2 copies of Miracle Contact. To get this card, you're going to need to get it at the card trader, shuffle into the deck from your hand, field, or graveyard the fusion material monsters that are listed on an Elemental HERO fusion monster that lists Elemental HERO Neos as a fusion material, then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions. Pretty cool card right there. And also, I forgot to mention Dark World Dealings is from the either selection box, if you've hopefully pulled that, or Valiant Souls. Next up, we have 3 copies of your boy Neos Fusion. This card's super cool because you special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists exactly 2 monsters of material, including Elemental HERO Neos, by sending those monsters to your hand, deck, or field, ignoring summoning conditions. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters. On the bright side though, you can do as much special summoning as you want, then follow up with Neos Fusion. So you actually can special summon your Silent Swordsman right away and then follow up with Neos Fusion. But I gotta say, I made this mistake multiple times trying to get replays for you guys. Do not expect your Silent Swordsman to special summon Silent Swordsman level 7 after you went for a Neos Fusion. I have lost a couple duels. I was about to say so many duels, but I lost like 2 to 3 duels of making this mistake where I crashed into my opponent with my Silent Swordsman, thinking that it would special summon itself into Silent Swordsman level 7, only for it to not work because of Neos Fusion, because you cannot special summon any other monsters after you activate this card. But like I said, if you special summon Silent Swordsman first and then go for Neos Fusion, you're good to go. Just don't expect any other special summons to happen after you activate your Neos Fusion. Still, this card's pretty good because you just use this card specifically to go into a Neos Fusion card, which is pretty sick. If fusion monsters you control at list Elemental HERO Neos' material would be destroyed by battle card effect or shuffled to the extra deck by its own effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard instead. So this is protection. You get to fusion summon with this. This is crazy good. And then last but not least, we have 2 copies of Silent Swordsman Slash from the Swordbound Silent Structure deck along with Crusader's Battleground. This card gives so much advantage for Silent Swordsman. Target Silent Swordsman monster you control gets 1500 attack and defense, and until the end of the turn, it's unaffected by your opponent card effects. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add a Silent Swordsman monster for your deck to your hand. Such a good card. Search out for your Silent Swordsman. If you have Silent Swordsman on the field plus slash, you get to give it a boost. It's a quick play spell, so you play it during each player's turn. It's crazy good, and I like it right there. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Elemental Hero Brave Neos. This card is super cool because it must be fusion summoned, or you can just use Neos Fusion. And it gains 100 attack for each Neos patient and hero monster in your graveyard. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add 1 spell and trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card Elemental Hero Neos in its attack. Next up, we have Elemental Hero Neos Knight, and I wish this card still gained its effect, where basically the card says must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card gains attack equal to half the attack of the warrior type fusion material used for his fusion summon, except Elemental Hero Neos. Sadly though, since if you are going to summon into Neos Knight with Neos Fusion, you will not be able to use its bonus effect of gaining half of the attack from the warrior monster, because due to Neos Fusion, it's actually not a fusion summon, it's a special summon, so due to that, the effect won't trigger, so that sucks. And then we also have 2 copies of Aqua Neos. I personally could probably sub this out for something completely different, but for now we have it in the deck because just kind of why not, just to be there, but it's not really, there's never really a reason to summon into this card. But if you do summon into the card once per turn, you can discard a card, destroy a random card your opponent's hand during the end phase, shuffle this card into the extra deck. But yeah, you can pop a card right away, which is kind of decent. But honestly, at the same time, Neospatian Aqua Dolphin's a little bit better. Discard a card, look at your opponent's hand, choose the 1 monster card in it. If you control a monster with attack greater than or equal to the chosen card, you get to destroy the chosen card, inflict 500 damage to your opponent, otherwise take 500 damage. So this card, you gain some damage, or you get your opponent and they take damage, and then you were able to go for your combos and search with Silent Swordsman slash if you discard that, etc, etc. Overall though, this deck is really cool. Thanks again to King Glacier for 1, letting me use this and everything like that, and 2, just for building the deck. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this segment on the deck list and stuff like that. I'd also recommend that maybe you guys could try a different skill. Where Heroes Dwell does become useful in certain situations, but I think there might be some better skills like Tides to Bind or Beat Down that would actually serve a better purpose than Where the Heroes Dwell. But still, you guys can experiment with that. If you watched to the end of this video though and you enjoyed it so far, be sure to go hit that like button on the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh related content and other content from me. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching the replays and checking out this deck list, and I'll go see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace!